What up, a-holes? I'm Eric Levi, the holistic a-hole, the vegan comedian. Today, I want to talk to you guys about why it's so hard to stay healthy because there is so much goddamn conflicting health information. Every day, it seems like there's a new study that comes out that touts the health benefits over some previously held belief. For example, everybody knows that smoking is bad for you. Everybody knows that smoking is bad for you. It's common knowledge at this point that smoking is bad for you. It's just as common knowledge as 2 + 2 = 4. Even smokers will tell you, yes, I know smoking's bad for me. We all know it's bad for you. But then you'll go on to Yahoo News and you'll read a headline, "New study shows that smoking proves to be beneficial for Alzheimer's treatment." Great. So you can smoke cigarettes all you want, and Alzheimer's is a thing you're never gonna have to worry about. Smokers, of course, are eating that shit up. They're sitting there smoking cigarettes. They're like, yeah, I might be killing myself, but at least I can remember it. Oh, man. Oh, I was scared there for a second. Breathing, man, that is... Oh, man. That is tough. Crack myself up. Oh, man. Nowhere in the health community is conflicting science more prevalent than in dieting. Look all over the internet. You're gonna find diet after diet with all kinds of information and science-based research that directly contradict each other. You got high carb, low fat. You got high fat, low carb. You got high protein. You got low protein. You got people saying meat is good for you. You got people saying meat is bad for you. Starch diets. You got no starch diets. You got everybody saying fruits and vegetables are great for you. Then you got people saying fruits and vegetables are bad for you. What are you supposed to do? In the 90s, we thought the Atkins diet was amazing. People were doing the Atkins, people were losing weight by cutting their carbs, and then what happened? Dr. Atkins died. And people still do the diet. Except it's not called the Atkins diet. It's called the Southbeach Diet. You know, it has all these different names. It's still the same thing. You have celebrities that push all kinds of different diets. These are people who you worship, people who you see on TV, you listen to their podcasts. Me specifically, I listen to guys like Joe Rogan and Tim Ferriss, and they tout the ketogenic diet. This year, I tried to do the ketogenic diet. I read the book, The Bulletproof Diet, by this guy Dave Asprey, where he talks all about the benefits of adding high fat to your diet, adding butter. He's talking about adding butter to things that you shouldn't and never have added butter to. Put the butter in your coffee. Put the butter in your smoothie. Drink a glass of water. Put the butter in your water. You like to wake up in the morning and eat pussy? Put the butter on the pussy. It's fucking phenomenal. And you'll feel fantastic. But half the book is Dave Asprey just selling you on trying to get you to buy his bulletproof coffee and his bulletproof products, you know? What other diet book do you see touting real healthy food like just wake up in the morning and eat a delicious bulletproof apple, guaranteed to make your day the best day ever? No! If someone's gonna tell you to eat an apple, they're gonna be like, eat an apple. You're gonna hate yourself, but just eat an apple. But ketosis, the whole point of ketosis was to help treat children who get seizures. You know, but they say, you know, get into ketosis, your brain works better. You'll write that screenplay you always wanted to write. Your body will never work better. You'll get shredded up. You'll have 8-pack abs. You'll have nice thigh muscles that you can do that weird, like, jiggly thigh thing they do in bodybuilding contests. Ketosis is the way to go. How do you know you're in ketosis? Well, you feel like you're dying. Your body feels weak. You feel lightheaded. You're just hungry. You're really, really hungry because your body needs carbs. Your body needs glucose. Your breath smells awful. That's a huge indicator. Your breath smells so bad, you can actually taste your own breath. You know how bad your breath has to be to taste your own breath? You're walking around, you're in ketosis, you're trying to have conversations with people, but they're fucking walking away because you smell like absolute hot garbage. Your breath smells like a bathroom on a tuna boat. You smell like you're dying. What good are 8-pack abs if you can't even function in society? What good is it if you're just laid up on the couch unable to move and function? People can just come up and play the xylophone on your abs over your close to dead body. That's the benefit of ketosis. Dave Asprey, he's no fool. He pushes the Bulletproof Diet using different scientific studies, right? He puts these studies in your face that make you really think that the Bulletproof Diet is a good thing. In the 1950s, scientists in Argentina studied groups of monkeys, and after giving them just 3 cups of delicious, warm, bulletproof coffee in the morning, he found the monkeys were able to live longer and procreate and eventually turn into humans. And high fat might be the most misunderstood diet trend of all the diets. We've somehow convinced ourselves that high fat is a good thing, despite the lack of evidence. I actually talked about this in my last video. There's this confusion amongst high-fat dieters because of some half-baked study that was conducted in the 70s where they studied the health of Eskimos. They studied the health of Inuits, despite the fact nobody has ever seen a hot Eskimo. Ever! Ever! Where's all the hot, ripped Eskimos? Has anybody ever seen a hot Eskimo? Has GQ ever put an Eskimo on their cover with their abs showing? Has anybody ever saw an Eskimo walking down the street and was like, damn, I gotta get me a piece of that frozen ass? Has Maxim ever come out with a top 10 hottest Eskimos list? Number 9. This is Charlotte. She's from a glacier near Greenland. When she's not keeping her igloo nice and warm with her hotness, she's filleting seal blubber and marinating it in McCormick's Chipotle barbecue marinade. When I was doing high fat, I was sucking down spoons and spoons full of coconut oil. I was also gaining weight, but I was convinced that I was doing the right thing because I was reading the research that said that coconut oil was good for you. And yes, there are studies that show that coconut oil is good for you. That is, when they compare it to other things like butter. And then some of the studies that they show that coconut oil does lower your LDL, your bad cholesterol, they show that only because they put the test subjects on a calorie-restricted diet. So naturally these people lost weight, which naturally lowers their BMI, which consequently lowers their LDL bad cholesterol. And then you have meat. Anybody who eats meat really truly believes that meat is good for them. And then you'll see studies that come out that say that meat is good for you. You know, meat has nutrients that you can't get unless you eat meat. A nutrient like stearic acid. Which is true. You can't get stearic acid unless you eat meat. However, you're also taking in the bad acids like palmitic and lauric acid. It's like saying soda's good for you because it has water. And duh, who doesn't think that? The meat industry has convinced us that we need to eat meat to get all these nutrients. Things like B12 and iron and protein. Everybody believes that the more protein you take in, the better you're gonna be. But then, there's another book I read called The Proteinaholic, where I quickly realized how unnecessary all the protein we're taking in is. Because for a long time, when I was on a high protein diet, I gained weight. I was the heaviest I had been since high school. And this is why the science is so fucked. Because scientists can manipulate data to make it look the way that whoever is sponsoring the study wants them to look. If Coca-Cola wants to conduct a study that shows that Coca-Cola is good for your health, then they can make that happen. Because they can compare Coca-Cola to battery acid. And it's going to look like it actually has a beneficial effect. They can compare Coca-Cola to whale blubber and show that people lost weight on a strictly Coca-Cola diet. Of course they did. They're taking in less calories. And it's all based on money. Who's getting money? Who's paying for these studies to be done? Somehow, we have studies that show that ketchup can be considered a fruit. 2 previous editors of the New England Journal of Medicine have written about how medical research has the same problems as campaign finance reform. That there needs to be corrections made because it's just a matter of who's paying the most money will get the medical results that they desire. So sure, we can make it so there's a study that shows that candy is actually health beneficial. Because the study was paid for by the Confectioners Association. But what it comes down to for me is that we have to be more in tune with our bodies. You have to listen to your body. If you're doing a diet and you're gaining weight, or you feel tired, or your breath smells terrible, or you're constipated, your bowels move as slow as traffic in New York City, then it's probably not working for you. Even if there's science that tells you that it's gonna work, even if there's doctors on TV telling you this is gonna work, if your body is not reacting the way you want it to react, then it's time to switch it up. And I'll tell you from personal experience, of all the diets I've done, of all the workouts I've done, the only thing that has consistently worked for me was going vegan. I'm the first one to tell you that I was not about going vegan. I didn't want to do it. I thought it was stupid, I thought it was trendy, I thought the most uncool people in the world were vegans, but I've been vegan for 4 months, and in 4 months I've lost almost 20 pounds. I have more energy than I ever had before. My brain works just as well, if not better, than it ever did when I was eating animal products. I sleep better. I go to the gym and I'm just as strong, if not stronger, than I was when I was eating meat. For me, it works. I'm not going to tell you it's going to work for you, but the fact is, it probably is going to. The science is there, and there are no big corporations funding vegan science. Trust me, Big Raspberry isn't coming in and donating billions of dollars to science to fudge it so that you think that raspberries are good for you. They don't have money. The raspberry budget is like my bank account. It has barely any money in it. So listen to your body and do what works for you. And if you read the quote-unquote science, don't just read the headline or the abstract. Go down to the bottom of it and see who the science and who the fund is paid for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please check out my other videos on my channel. Please subscribe. If you have any thoughts on different diets that you've tried, things that work, things that don't work, trendy diets you've tried and spent money on, trendy diets that you've given up on, please leave it down in the comments. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Send me an email to holistic.a.whole@gmail.com. Check out my website, www.ericlevi.com. I love you a-holes. Holistic out.